Okay, so we live, right? We're recording. Everything is on, right? Okay, so let me just do the thing once and for all. We back into our new studio and stuff like that. Anyway, welcome back to the LungTrey segment. Yep, we finally here. It's been a while, but then, anyways, I just wanted to talk, man. Just wanted to talk frank with some people, with my people. Like, okay, first thing first. How much do you think waiters and waitresses earn per hour in South Africa to be precise? I mean, I've been thinking, I've been doing a lot of research, and I just found out that waiters and waitresses in South Africa they earn like less than 30 bucks per hour. Of which, if maybe that somebody were to work for like 5 hours, it's probably 150, 150 a day. God damn. And there are some people who earn like 150 per hour, but someone decide that they should earn like, what the fuck? It doesn't make no sense, to be honest. It makes no sense. I don't get it. What? Because these people, they be busting at their ass the whole fucking day, man. Just trying to serve people, try to put a smile on their face. But 30 bucks? God damn. And which leads me to my second question, right? Do you think tipping is necessary? Because I don't know. At first, I used to think that no, tipping a waiter is some bullshit. Why should I tip you because you're getting paid? And then I started to realize that, oh man, these people they earn peanuts. Peanuts. I remember one time I was with my ex girlfriend and stuff like that. Well, obviously I was gonna pay for the meal and everything, but after the waiter had done serving us, when the bill was arriving to our table, she said, so should I enter this amount? I was like, what do you mean? Should you enter this amount? Yes, I'm going to pay for this food. And then it didn't occur to me that actually she meant that I should add a tip. I'm like, what the fuck? Why should I tip you because you're working, girl? So, but now I kind of get it. Fun fact, my ex-girlfriend, she did that. She ended up tipping her off. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you tip somebody off because they're already getting paid? Well, less than 30 bucks, that's nothing, man. It's like a daylight robbery, to be honest, because I don't get it. I used to think that maybe waiters and waitresses, they earn probably maybe 200 bucks per hour or something like that, but 30 bucks? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So, but here's the thing, right? My thing is, as a waiter or as a waitress, you knew what you got yourself into. So why are you complaining that people are not tipping you? You shouldn't complain that people are not tipping you because when you applied for the job, you knew that maybe you were gonna get like less than 30 bucks per hour and probably you're gonna be working for like you can't I doubt there are waiters that work for like 8 hours, are they? Because I think most of them they work in terms of shifts. 5 hours this, then the next 5 hours is someone else. I'm not sure, but it's very fascinating to see and to think that these people they don't earn much and they still have to put on that facade, that face, that happy smile, that happy mood. All those bullshit deep down, they're not even happy. Like, god damn, that is crazy. Anyway, I don't want to be talking about waiters for the longest time. I want to talk about something else. Uh, is Amapiano dead in this town? I mean, is Amapiano dead? Obviously, people still playing Amapiano. There are producers still making music, but the original sound is it dead or now it's more based on commercial? Because I remember back in the days when Amapiano started to pop, there were so much competition amongst producers like your Micro Deep, Kabza the Small, Kelvin Momo, and currently it just seems like everybody's just in their own lane, focusing on what they're doing, but they're no longer really focusing on the genre, the culture, the way it was brought upon to us. Like, I don't get it, or maybe it's because of the giggings, the gigs. Like, sometimes people, like, as an Amapiano DJ or a producer, you have to bust your ass day in, day out to make sure that you get bookings, you get your gigs and all those stuff. Recently, I've realized that even MCs are starting to become vocalists in the Amapiano genre. They are no longer just MCs. I'm like, wait, so you are an artist now? Well, what the fuck? So, I just want to know, is Amapiano dead or it just evolved into something else that we've never seen before? Or maybe sometimes we can even blame the management, because most of these managers of Amapiano artists and producers, they are not that professional at what they're doing. It's more like they are friends. A friend of a friend. I can hook you up. I know someone who knows somebody, but I really don't think that Amapiano has been that commercialized in a proper manner, because even when you can look at the lyrics, the rhythm, something has changed. But is it dead? We were supposed to be exporting the genre and the sound, right? But the thing is, the moment we start exporting the genre and the sound changes. They're playing, I don't know if it's Afrobeat or Amapiano Afrobeat in Nigeria. It's so fast. And then the BPM is so fast. They be saying, what the Nigerians say? Nigerians feel like the reason their beat is so fast is because life is fast. We gotta keep it moving. So their Amapiano is also fast. So, but it being fast, that's no longer Amapiano. That's something else. So why can't we own our genre as South Africans? Just like Americans own hip hop. Hip hop originally comes from the US. Nobody can argue with that. So why is it hard for us to say we gotta do something with this Amapiano stuff? Sometimes I even tend to blame the management, that maybe management don't know what they're doing, because people just be hiring their friends, which is some bullshit. I kinda don't get it. Why would you hire your friend to take care of your bookings and your gigging guidelines, yeah, shit like that? It makes no sense. This person is uneducated. He knows nothing about music, but he's your manager. Fascinating, right? It's crazy. So I'm still asking right now, is Amapiano dead or is it soon to be? Because I've realized that even the sound of Amapiano recently in South Africa, it has changed. I can't really say it has improved. Well, obviously we know that Amapiano is the combination of house music and kwaito, but currently the sound has changed. There's this album by is it Mtutuzeli or something? Yeah. I don't know. That album, I would say it's whack, it's trash. Yeah, it was. He just wanted to prove a point that he can produce different sounds, but when you listen to it deep down, you'd be like, man, that's not Amapiano, man. Like, what the fuck is that? Even other so-called producers, like, their sound has just changed. And at the same time, those artists that used to work in groups, they are now splitting. Starting from your Amaroto and who else? Man, there are so many. I can't mention all of them, but I know them when I see them. I'm like, including Murumba Peach. You remember that they also split it apart. So I'm just wondering, do they know what they're doing, or it's just a thing of ego? They're just egotistic, thinking that I can do all this thing by myself. I don't really need this other person. I don't really need to do a duo with someone else. But that duo was working. Now you're going solo. The sound is gonna be different. The sound is gonna change. But is that still Amapiano? Is that still Murumba pitch, or is that still Amaroto or shit like that? I think maybe we need to start changing the lyrics, because I've realized that even Kabza the Small, he focuses mainly on spiritual stuff, like it's a gospel. Yeah, it slaps, it's good, it's dope, but come on, man. We ain't here to pray. We're here to dance and have a good time. So I don't wanna be listening to a song that kind of reminds me of my ancestors, reminds me of God. Meanwhile, I'm drunk, partying all night. I'm like, come on, man. You gotta choose what work, you know. But anyway, I'm not really into this Amapiano thing like that. I was just curious that is it really dead, or is it fading away? Because recently the sound is changing and it's kind of scary. Amapiano so far is the only genre that's dominating the market in South Africa. Well, I don't know across the country, but in South Africa is the current current genre that's dominating. Well, there's Maskandi, there's Lukombo, but more it's it's basically it's Amapiano in most cases. Yeah, that's the one that's dominating the market recently. So, but let's not talk about the piano cats, because they be coming at me like, hey, how could you say this about us? How could you? I'm like, hey, I'm just a broadcaster here. I'm just speaking at my piece. Shit like that. But let's talk about something else, man. There are so many things we can talk about recently, because a lot of things has been happening. I've realized that whenever the government officials are at wrong, like whenever any government official did something wrong or something happened, the state always try to reshuffle the cabinet. Well, like if somebody who used to be a minister of finance elsewhere, and then they got caught committing fraud or whatever, nepotism, stuff like that, they reshuffle the person to probably maybe Minister of Sports and Arts and Culture, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Education. So my thing is, why does the government allows government officials to be reshuffled if they were wrong in the first place? It's crazy, right? It's like it's not innocent until proven guilty. Something else is innocent until innocent. We just gonna change the scenario and change the structure and be like, okay, how about this time around you start focusing on shit like agriculture, because it seems like you're not that good in this finance thing. But first of all, this person stole the money. This person committed some fraud and stuff like that. Why can't we just arrest them? Actually, I think any government official that has committed anything against the law, they should be hanged, because you know the law, you know the rules. Why should we now reshuffle you? So, I mean, okay, think of it like this. Imagine a traffic cop, yeah, a traffic cop taking bribes and stuff like that. And then later on, we discover that this person is also corrupt. You know what they'll do? They will take that cop, that traffic cop, from the streets and then put him in the office. Be like, okay, how about you become a clerk in the office because maybe in the street it's not your thing. I'm like, no, man, this person is wrong. It's wrong to begin with. So we should just hang them because they know the law. You are the law. So if you are the law and you decide to break the law, what must we do about you? What must we do with you? We gotta kill you, man. We gotta hang you. But the government always be like, well, we believe in second chances, we believe in fairness and all that bullshit. But when this person was committing all this stuff, we never actually thought that, oh, actually, oh, this must be. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Any government official start committing crime, they should be hanged. They should be killed. In in the sport, man, like how can we give a government official a second chance? Meanwhile, they know the law because they just gonna try to bend the law. The more we give them, more second chance. So I don't understand this whole thing of reshuffling the cabinet where someone used to be a minister of a certain thing, now they are in a different department. I mean, it's not like your character changed. If you are a thief, you will die a thief. Doesn't matter whether it looks like you changed. You still are a thief. Maybe you haven't got the right opportunity to reveal yourself once again. But it's crazy, right? Yeah, I believe that's crazy. That's crazy. But never mind reshuffling the cabinet and stuff like that. Sometimes I tend to think that maybe as parents, we need to start preparing our children for the future. Future in a manner of, remember back in the days where our parents used to tell us that you need to study law, you need to study medicine, you need to study to become a teacher, shit like that, because at that time, those were the jobs that were dominating the market and the industry. But in the current times, I still feel like parents are still far behind in terms of preparing their children for the future. It's 2025, and parents are still telling their children to go study for teaching, study for medicine. We got AI now, we got technology to teach all these people this stuff. We got an AI that can operate on a human being. So why should you go and study for medicine? I get it, we still need doctors. I get it, we still need teachers, but those are ancient jobs. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe we should start preparing our kids for shit like what is this programming, IT. Like, let's teach our children how to use technology, how to use AI, because we're living in times where AI can just literally do anything for you. People can have a relationship with AI right now. AI can tell you all your problems and give you all your solutions. AI can console you. Like, we're living in times where you don't really need another human being to succeed, but through AI, you can do it all. So, how come parents are still stuck in the past, still stuck in the ancient times where, well, okay, now you still gotta go study for law, still gotta go study. Come on, we got all those stuff on the internet. Maybe we need, I don't know, I don't know, because it's crazy. You're looking at the stats right now of teachers in South Africa or across the world. First of all, they're not earning much. Secondly, there are no longer jobs for teaching or for teachers because you know why? Everybody wants to be a teacher now, which is crazy, right? It's kind of crazy, ain't it? Anybody wanna become a police officer and shit like that. But what I've realized is that People just want to have a secure, I don't know, a secure future where maybe, yeah, I'm not working, but at least I got a qualification. Here's my thing. If you got a degree and it's not working for you, why would you go back and get another one? It's crazy, right? Why don't you just try to do something on your own without those damn degrees? Because literally they're not working. Not for you, not for me, and not for anybody. Because back in the days, it used to be whoever that has more qualifications, whoever that has more papers in certain fields is the one that is regarded as the elite. But right now, even even somebody who's not educated can know it all way better than somebody who has been to school and studied all those bullshit. So I don't get it. How come parents are still stuck in the past where they cannot really tell their children what to study or what kind of a future to be prepared for? Because it's weird, man. It's weird. At this time, somebody can go to university and study for media production, shit like that, only to find out that AI can do all those stuff. So how about now you try to understand AI so that you can use it for your own good, rather than going to school and doing all those bullshit, because it's bullshit, to be honest. Preparing your kids for the future with ancient history, ancient knowledge does no longer work. It doesn't work. And it's crazy because we're still gonna be saying you gotta go to school. And do what at school? Do what? I feel like school recently is just a place where people just go for leisure, go socialize with friends and meet other people, have relationships, and then come back home. And then when they ask you what have you learned at school, you always be like nothing. None. Because you didn't learn anything. Even if you did learn something, it's not something practical that you can perform in the real world except through a test or an exam. So that's fucked up, right? That's fucked up, right? So sometimes I used to think that maybe children should be allowed to use cell phones maybe after the age of 18, because you get a cell phone from the age of 7, and then now your whole world is corrupt, and your whole world now is, you don't even know what's real and what's not. But since it's the time of technology, since it's the era of AI and shit like that, I think maybe it would be best if we let children start to learn AI and technology from preschool, because that's where we're going, that's where we're heading. But hey, who am I to say all this bullshit? Because I'm nobody, right? I guess I'm nobody. It's all right. I wanted to talk about something else. But it's a bit tricky, so I don't know how I'm gonna start this topic. So apparently, they're saying that USA discovered Israel somewhere in the year 1942, something like that. Discovered isn't like they started to have a relationship back in the days in 1942 or some shit like that. And as we all know, that USA is a country that likes to intervene in other countries' shenanigans. So what happened was the relationship between USA and Israel has led USA to end up bombing shit in Iran. And then Iran retaliated. They bombed like the US base in Qatar, shit like that. But then nobody knows what's the war really about. I will tell you what the war is really about. The war is basically on oil. Do you know how important oil is in this world? Do you know how worthy you will be if you got oil, if you got access to oil? First of all, we all know that USA, it doesn't have much of an oil, but through collaboration, it can make deals with other countries. You give us this, we will give you that, right? So here's the thing. Iran is the third largest country that dominates in oil, right? The third largest country in the whole wide world. So probably there's the rest of the world, and there's one, two, three. Number three, it's Iran. Iran has more oil than most of these countries. What's happening is that you need to understand, where does this war come from and why is it gonna keep on happening? First of all, the war between USA and Iran and Israel and Iran is the same war as the Vietnam War back in the days between the North Vietnam and the South Vietnam, where they were fighting over dictatorship and democracy, right? And then what happened was USA intervened. After intervening, well, it thought it might make things better, but instead it made it worse. And then eventually the North Vietnam ended up attacking the South Vietnam, colonizing other countries, dominating the entire Vietnam continent, right? Not the continent, the country, because Vietnam is not a continent. So yeah, the country. It ended up dominating the entire country, but not all of them, but most of the provinces and stuff like that, right? And then USA bailed out because it realized that it cannot win this war. Like, you cannot come to a certain country and try to change laws. You get what I mean? So Iran and USA, they are fighting over oil. Since Israel has partnered with USA, USA is manipulating Israel to fight Iran so that they can dominate its oil. Now, let's go back. I want us to rephrase some stuff, right? How important is oil in this country? Not this country, but in this world, in our lives. Well, oil is very important, that it produces everything. Everything that you see in this world, in most cases, from pharmaceutical companies, your medicine, your food, a lot of stuff, they come from oil. So if a country is rich in oil, they can literally produce everything. But because, well, in Iran, they don't really focus on pharmaceutical companies and shit like that. That's where USA comes in. They be like, oh man, we got these companies that are trying to create medicines, that are trying to create food, rubber, all those stuff. But we need oil. Where can we get oil? Oh, there's Iran. Iran has oil. But you can't just go in there and be like, give us your oil. We gotta start by acting like we're friends. And then later on, we gotta manipulate them, try to take it from them. Just like what they did here in South Africa and the rest of Africa. They just came in here and placed all their companies, and then now they own our mines. They own our minerals. We got minerals, but all those minerals are going to USA. So Iran now is like, we've seen what you guys been doing to the rest of the world. Not this time. At the same time, as you've seen, Donald Trump has been pushing the propaganda of fake genocide in South Africa and shit like that. So eventually it's more like, oh, okay. So this whole time, USA has always been fabricating information, feeding us lies through media. Remember, USA only invest a lot more in propaganda. Propaganda isn't like media and military. What else? Propaganda, military, and drugs. The war on drugs. There's the war on drugs, and there's propaganda, and there's military shit. So, this whole time, USA has been feeding us lies about, hey, what's happening here, then, there. The 9/11, we thought it was Bin Laden, but hey, those towers, Bin Laden had nothing to do with any of those. So now it's like, oh, you think you are the people, huh? Let us show you what we can do with our stuff. Because any country that owns oil, or any country that owns a lot of more oil, it will be powerful because it can produce everything, including guns. Do you know how important oil is in this world? Just oil. Food. Let me show you something. I wanna, because it's weird, man, and it's tricky. What I'm trying to tell you, man, like it's wild, bro. It's wild. Let me see again. What is oil used to produce? What is oil used for? For everyday day life, shit like that. I wanna show you something. It's very wild, man. It's very wild. Now, yeah, here are some of the stuff they're saying about oil. Oil can create fuel, jet fuel, gasoline, diesel, and shit like that. Cooking oil can produce rubber, vegetable oil, olive oil, and medicine. A lot more, man. A lot more. It can produce plastics, cosmetics, and personal care products, textiles. You see, so the whole world, basically, we're fighting over who owns more oil. Industrial applications, you basically talking about uh, lubricants, whatsoever chemicals. So, man, it's just wild to see USA trying to dominate all this shit. First of all, USA doesn't have oil, but they're trying to dominate all this. And sometimes I even tend to think that maybe even those bases that were bombed or explosions, I thought maybe they were just staged, just to create or to infuse fear in our lives because of this fucking propaganda. It's on the media. Since it's on the media, you're gonna believe it. So I'm thinking maybe it was fake. It wasn't real, but they made it look real because they be saying nobody died, but this and that happened. Well, maybe some people died, but they don't want to tell us who died. And then so Donald Trump is coming here saying there's gonna be a ceasefire. Let there be peace. How can a bully? How can you believe a bully saying let's make peace? Hmm? Let's call it a truce. No, man, he's just waiting for you to let your guard down so that he can strike again. That nigga's a bully, man. Okay, he's not a nigga, maybe a cracker, but yeah, he's a bully, that guy. So I don't really get it. What are we really fighting for? And here's the thing. This whole thing, it all started with this foreign investment shit, foreign trade shit. Oh, so because your country doesn't have this and our country have this, let's trade. And then eventually, when we start trading, you end up realizing some other shit. Oh, you also have this. Oh, you also, how about, oh, man, why can't you just accept that you don't have oil? If you want it, buy one from Iran, obviously. But nah, they just want to take it. They just want to take. It's like Didi. They just take. Like, what the fuck, man? But anyway, I don't know. Maybe that's how things are supposed to happen in this world. A certain country has to fall so that another has to rise in order to work together because we can't all be successful. And maybe we do need bullies in this world, but I think we've had enough. It's about time USA accept that it's defeated in any kind. Any kind. But anyway, this is me and this is you. Just wanted to welcome you back to the LungTrey segment, but yeah, just like that, I'm out, man. Just gonna say peace out. It's been fun just talking all this bullshit. Right? Right? Right.
Trejo Tebogo from Turf Loop, but currently residing in Brakpan. I'm a scriptwriter and a filmmaker. I've always wanted to study film and TV production, but due to lack of funds, I ended teaching myself how to write scripts, shoot, edit, and direct short films and podcasts. I started a YouTube channel, LungTrey Studio, where I shoot short films and podcasts on my Samsung